Oh, how's this going to work?
And Gator Deloach from the sheriff from Putnam County is in there too as well. Who else is in there besides just us?
Us?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Oh, no, Johnny Barnes. Johnny Barnes is in there.
That's right.
I forgot too as well. Yeah. Because Jenna, they got a good team out there doing the right thing, and that's beautiful out there, what they're doing out there. They have really revitalized that area out there, man. It's pretty impressive. So this is what it takes to raise money for Hastings, and I'm all in. Of course, they've been good to me in multiple ways as far as supporting the campaign, supporting Rob Hardwick, supporting the sheriff's office, and supporting just cleaning up Hastings. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we had the Hastings coffee people in yesterday. Pretty awesome.
Pretty cool, by the way. It's a great story. Yes.
It's pretty awesome, right?
Yes.
They've got this really cool vibe, and they're just kind of bringing that onto Main Street. I'm loving to see the growth, like you were talking about. Cool. And you've got some gardens or something that's happening at this pocket park or something that you're going to be tied into. It's going to be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it's just a lot going on. Even we discovered that, they discovered that we had an old jail out there that was a holding facility right there on the corner back in the day when they couldn't transport all the way into the main facility downtown. So just a lot of history out there that we've just left covered up for years. And of course, as you all know, the Hastings High School was one of the best football playing high schools in the state of Florida on that division at the time. Just a lot of hidden secrets in there that are just coming back to life, and they're just bringing a lot. It's beautiful over there too as well. It's kind of crazy. It's like a different area of St. Johns County now.
How does that work in the sheriff's department? Do you guys have like specific officers that deal with just Hastings? Like,
yes.
How does that roll?
Yeah, so that's our south region, and that's in our southwest part of the region. So we have deputy sheriffs that are assigned to that area. We're big into community policing, so we try to get those deputy sheriffs that kind of live there or live close to there. A lot of our deputies from that formerly were with Putnam County Sheriff's Office work in that area. So the same deputies are assigned that area every single shift. So trying to get that, that constant continuity basically of who those people are. They know the community. So, and with that, we know for a fact we police better when we know our communities better, and you want to be in that area. So there's just not a lot going on down there. As you know, it's still a lot of farms that are operating down there. So, and we're going through a lot of people that are nervous because, of course, we got a lot of fields that are producing for, major places like Winn-Dixie and Publix and Walmart. So it's a lot. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. So anyways, just, but then we got that thoroughfare, from Putnam County. With people that come to work here, of course, and play here, but we also have some crime that occurs in Putnam that we solve over here in St. John. So, just an interesting area to police, but some of our best police officers are in that area.
Yeah, Hastings is such an interesting middle ground.
It really is,
because it seems like, from the outside, I don't hear about much crime in Hastings at all.
They police themselves quite a bit, but honestly, you look at Hastings, Florida, and it's every race, creed, color, religion, sexual orientation under the sun. It's kind of weird. Yeah. It's not weird. It's the way that America is, but that's really what Hastings is. They're farm-based, they're faith-based. Again, just a lot of those are old families, and I can say that because I coached at Pedro and Gamble Rogers forever, which is most of those kids came from, and all my kids went to those schools down there. So we love that area, but not a whole lot of. If it's a violent crime, it's usually family, domestic related, that something went down, something went wrong within the family or friends, whatever. But we don't get the farmers really. We have 2 agricultural deputy sheriffs that work down there full time. Jerry Gentry and Mike Pedante. They're full time agricultural deputies, so they get that really unique, interesting bond down there with those families, those farmers, and of course their kids that are growing up. And then you have the Waffle Tops, of course, over in Flagler Estates. But that's been going on since I was a little kid myself. I mean, we used to ride motocross down there or four wheelers when I was a kid. So. And then you got parts of Flagler County where they can't respond to their side of the county unless they come all the way through ours. So a great relationship with Gator Deloach from Putnam, and a great relationship with Rick Staley from Flagler County, where we all kind of police together.
How do you make sure that those relationships stay solid?
One thing, of course, is that open communication. I would say we don't recruit from each other, but unfortunately in my profession, our profession, a cop will leave one job to the next for 50 cents. It's just the way it is. That's how we pay our bills. And I was one of those too. I moved around agency to agency to pay the bills. So those relationships are phone calls. When they pick up the phone and say, hey, we're bringing in, President Trump's son to St. Johns County. We need some help escorting them. It's that quick. And also too, it's fighting crime together, sharing information together. TK Waters is probably one of my closest friends. Michelle Cook with Clay County, it's like the river is odd. It's almost like another country because there's really one way in, one way out with the Shands Bridge. Yeah. All the rest of us physically touch, borders, the whole border. But then Gator Deloach, again, those people that live and work there, it's flip-flop, vice versa in our county. So that our people all go to each other. A lot of our, as you know this, a lot of our employees, a lot of our people that work here live in of course, Flagler County now. So with that, those relationships are key to success. And we talk all the time. We're a phone call away. Somebody told me a long time ago, another sheriff up in another county said, when another sheriff calls you on the phone, you pick up the phone, you answer it. I didn't know what that meant in the very beginning. Now I understand what it means. Just pick up the phone and say, hey, Sheriff, what can I do for you? Hey, we had a violent crime up here. Can we borrow XYZ assets? It's the right way to do business. And that's something I've really, really tried my entire career. And I've been very successful at it. And I'm proud of that. And I'm blessed at it too as well. Yeah.
Very cool, man. Yeah, it's important, especially in this area, as tight as this area is, for these sheriffs who work in each other's backyards to be cooperating.
People don't understand when you like POTUS was going to come here this week, and luckily it canceled. But just moving the president of the United States into St. Johns County, it's
a massive undertaking.
It's a massive undertaking, and not only that, but we got almost 100 deputy sheriff's employees working TPC this week, and then when you move in the POTUS, it takes about that same amount to move them in and out. Whether you like who the president of the United States. It doesn't matter. It's one of the highest profile targets in the world. And you got to get it in and out of your county as quick and safe as possible, So with the other day when we found out he was coming here, by the way, he's not coming here. He was, but he's not coming here. We had to reach out to every touching county to make sure we had plenty of assets available and leave TPC alone. TPC is in charge of those 20, 30,000, 40,000 people that are out there watching golf, minding their business. That's their full-time job, those deputy sheriffs. Then we have the deputy sheriffs working the safety and security of St. Johns County. But then you got to move the POTUS into this entire mess and put him into place, make sure he's safe in place, and then get him back out of here. So again, the Secret Service relationship that we share with Joe Scargill, he's in charge of this area. It is special because, again, we have probably one of the most highest profile targets in the world, female-wise, living in our county. And we move her in and out here pretty quick without anybody really, we're not trying to hide anything, but also we're trying to make sure it's safe too as well. So you got to have those relationships just for things like that.
Yeah, man. All right, let's talk about one more issue of national importance that we're seeing a lot of activity down here. Immigration.
Yeah.
Immigration. What does that look like in St. Johns County? Are there a lot of people that are getting hauled in? I mean, I know we've had a few high profile cases over the last few years involving folks who are illegally in the country. So under this administration, how have things changed? Are there more people getting, how's this working?
I'm first of all, I love putting out on our media platforms of what we're doing in St. Johns County, but also too, I'm proud that we've been doing this way before the presidential change too as well. And with that, now we just simply have people at the White House supporting us in our mission. But our mission is this, first of all, is anybody that's a violent criminal in St. Johns County, I don't care where you're from, America or from Russia, doesn't matter to me. Our goal is to get you off the streets and hold you accountable for your actions. And I want to make that crystal clear. But just a couple of days ago, we held a detail here on Interstate 95. But we are working 95 every single day. And my version of interdiction, whether you call it immigrant interdiction, I don't really care, but the interdiction for us is drugs, anything illegal. I mean, it's drugs, it's guns, it's money laundering, it's trafficking in human beings and children. But also too, if you're illegally here and you committed a crime and you're wanted by the government, then I've got to hold you accountable for your actions. But I do the same thing for that look just like us and from America, born in America. It doesn't matter to me. But what we're finding out now, of course, is that there's just a lot of perception, miscommunication, misconceiving stuff out there, basically, that the sheriff's office is going out to your school and checking little kids' ID to see if you're in America illegally. No, I think it's crystal clear now that below the age of 18, even our governor and the president of the United States saying, hey, if you're here and you're below the age of 18, let's concentrate on that list that's called the red list. Basically, if you are wanted for a violent crime in America and you're also illegally here, then we want to pick you up and hold you accountable and then get you out of our country if you don't belong here too as well. So we get a list every week. Matter of fact, we got ours 2 days ago for the week, basically.
Really?
And we have a red target on there, and then we have a couple basically. So it's kind of red is we talked about this. It's murder, kidnapping, trafficking, gang member, hardcore crimes. The next list, you can call it amber or orange, whatever you want to call it. That list on there is kind of that low-hanging fruit, fraud, theft cases, the non-violent but still felony cases. And then the green list basically is like DUIs and petty theft, misdemeanor theft, driving with no license or suspended license. So we are concentrating on that red list. We get the list from our federal partners every week, and we work in conjunction with them based on where that known person was in St. Johns County. And you all know this, and our listeners know this, is that, we have a lot of technology-based policing. So not that we track you, but we have a better chance of finding you based on maybe your job habits, your shopping habits, maybe your driving habits. So we're concentrating on that red list. We got one on there this week, and then we have 3 on the orange or amber list, and then we have 1 or 2 on the green list. So concentration is on that red list. And then
what happens when you apprehend somebody on that list? Like what's the process?
Sure. So actually there's a couple things going on here too. And this is not to insult your listeners, that are paying attention to kind of what's going on. But we at the St. John's County Sheriff's Office, we want to be the tip of the spear, meaning that we want to be the ones that are doing it the right way, and make sure that we're not, looking for people that are just simply working in a restaurant and are here illegally. That's the federal government's job. Now, if we get a tip on that, of course, we have a procedure with informing the federal government that this is how you do the tip. So if you were here illegally and committed a crime, it's a totally different, it's just like us committing a crime. You're held accountable for your actions. You go in front of our judges and our court system in society, jury trial, non-jury trial, and you're held accountable. If you're here and just there's a deportation pickup order on you, we don't have the authority to forcefully enforce a civil infraction by the federal government. But what we've done here is I have 30 WSOs in my jail. Those are warrant service officers that are under the 287G program that can physically investigate if you committed a crime and you're in my jail and now you're legally here, they can investigate that and help get you deported. I have 30 of those in my jail at 141. We're way far ahead, and 10 more on a list waiting to be approved. Wow. The newest thing is called a task force operation. That's the governor's initiative under President Donald Trump. We are already doing that. We are I think we're the only state in the United States of America where all 67 counties, all 67 sheriffs are doing the 287G program for the warrant service officer program and for the task force model. Wow. We are the 5th jail that has put our paperwork in for what they call the JEM or the JM, which is the jail enforcement model or the jail model. We have put all of our paperwork in for that. So we are doing everything that we can do to make us legitimately, legally be able to go ahead and look for people that are wanted on a warrant for a criminal charge. So they get processed like everybody else, Davey. If you have an arrest warrant that's a criminal charge, you get processed like everybody else. But when you actually come into our system and your fingerprints are rolled, you're checked in NCIC, FCIC, and then we also run you through what they call the IAQ, which is the Immigration Alien Query. That's where we find out if you're wanted on a civil infraction and or both. Gotcha. Criminal, civil. Okay. Yeah. A lot going on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Wow, but we're light years ahead. I would love the technology. Like the other day we were with Customs Border Patrol truly has the technology base. They stick the phone in your face, they do a picture, they send it off to the mother machine, and it says, "Oh, you're wanted for deportation." And the next thing you know, they take them to Baker County, the processing station. Okay. They go to Jacksonville, that's where the processing station's at, and then they can be held up at Baker or Chrome, which is down in South Florida. Baker County or Chrome in South Florida.
Right. Wow. Wow, man.
But I think the next step is coming. The next step is coming now where we're going to press forward, meaning the state of Florida, where if you have deportation orders, the state of Florida is going to help the federal government with planes, trains, and automobiles, getting you back to where you came from and get you out of the United States of America in what the President of the United States wants.
Well, who's going to pay for that? The feds or
not Rob Hardwick? I mean, we're just going to help, right. We're going to do the same thing we're doing now. And this, I hope my listeners understand this, but it's no different than the three of us driving a car with no driver's license on a public road or highway is against the law. But we are in the system 100 ways to one. Passport, an ID card, a checking account, whatever you've done in life in the United States of America. Well, if you're illegally here and we pull you over and you have nothing to give us, we've got to take you into custody and bring you to our jail, because if you kill somebody on Interstate 95 and it says, well, the sheriff's office just pulled you over, but they didn't take you to jail and figure out who you were. So at least when you come to the jail, I don't care if you get out 10 minutes later and you're here from Guatemala, it doesn't matter to me, but at least now we've rolled your prints, you're in the system. True. And then also we took your photo. And then also too, we've identified your tattoos and maybe a missing finger or something that identifies you specifically. Now you commit a crime, your fingerprints at least, especially a violent crime, rape, robbery, or murder case, the fingerprints are in the scene, it's in the system, so we can solve it and hold you accountable. Yeah.
With all the technology out there, is our license really that important? Like, is that going to evolve ever? Or are we always going to have these little credit card things of a license?
I think you're always going to have that credit card per se, of a license that gives you the privilege to drive. More so probably on the civil side of the house, that you have some basic knowledge of the road rules and highway and when you're driving. But also too, I think it's another system, I hate to say this, but it's big government of a way to track our, people in the United States of America that actually have a right to drive on public roads or highways. That's the way I see it. Yeah. Whether you believe it or not, I don't know, but I mean, we don't know any different. We're ignorant to it.
Yeah. So, I didn't know if they were going to do some scanning instead of, actually.
I don't think we'll see it in my lifetime. No. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Sheriff, we always appreciate you as always, sir.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Appreciate everything you're doing for St. Johns County. We really do.
Too as well.
And Anything else? Anything else coming up that
no, just a lot going on in St. Johns County. I know we had the guy wielding the gun, and people were
right. Yeah.
It's
Samuel.
It came out of Georgia, and listen, we don't ever get in a briefing and say we're going to go out and try to kill somebody today. That's not. People think we do that. It doesn't happen. But when you come into St. Johns County, you fired rounds off in Duval County. When you come into our county, your journey.
You're a threat to public safety.
You're a threat to public safety. Man. And why? The other day somebody asked, like, well, Sheriff, isn't it dangerous to crash that person, in 95? No. So we push them to Flagler County. They kill somebody in Flagler, Volusia, Putnam. That's not the right answer. The answer is if we can safely do it, and we did. We safely did it. We were preparing to pit maneuver, of course, on that suspect after he crossed over the State Road 16 bridge. And we were trying to stop traffic as much as we can at 100 plus miles an hour. But if you think that's safe driving through my county recklessly with a firearm out the window and driving like an idiot, and then we're not going to put a stop to it, then you're living in the wrong place. I recommend you move. But when you came here, we made the decision to perform, of course, that precision intervention technique, which is a pit maneuver on him. And then he made an overt reaction to avoid us, and then he crashed his vehicle. Yes, we did do a dog bite. I want to remind you out there, the guy had a gun. He fired rounds out his window. Yeah. People are sending in videos of this guy whoever drives around with a gun.
Scary, man.
Yeah. He's not of the mental capacity that we want driving in our county. Right. So yes, our dog, Bane, did bite him on the thigh. I guess trying to get compliance. He's in the vehicle. He's still screaming at us. He's yelling profanities. He's not giving up. Yes, he is in the vehicle trapped per se, but he's not complying to our orders, which means he's still armed.
Yeah.
So Bane, our dog canine, Rob Nigenbauer, deployed canine Bane, which was risky too, but we understand the risk of canines. That's what they're supposed to do, is go in there and unfortunately take that bullet for our deputy sheriffs. So when Bane engaged, we made the decision at the time he still was not complying to go ahead and deploy our 40 millimeter rounds. Yes, we fired multiple rounds at him with a 40 millimeter, but we're not firing rounds from our bullets. These are bullets that are actually controlled. They're made to basically comply to our orders. So yes, he was shot multiple times, I think 5 times with our 40 millimeter, and then he complied and showed us our hands, and we handcuffed him and took him out of the vehicle with fire rescue. So I'm just not going to tolerate this garbage in St. Johns County.
Yeah, that was,
great job.
Great job.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's where I was at, by the way. I'm sure during the Florida Man games. We had a heck of a car chase on 210.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy people showed up at St. Johns County during Florida Man games week.
Now your games are gone. TPC's here. Everybody's kinder and gentler.
Wow. Imagine that.
No traffic problems. No problems. No problems. Anyways, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Appreciate our partnership. Have a great day.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Take care. Sheriff Hardwick, everybody.
Great dude. Yeah, so fun to talk to him.
Man.
Just makes you feel safe to live in St. Johns County, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. They're really working to protect everybody.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.